Today's forecast, heavy snow. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to MapleLeaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew. On the bench today is a Matchbox Ford LTS series tractor pulling a King Size K-17 Dyson lowrider trailer. You can mix and match all of these Matchbox Super Kings castings. I happen to have a pretty big bin full of assorted cabs and trailers. Most of them are missing a wheel or a front grille or exhaust stacks or something like that, but all the pieces together make for a good boneyard collection, so I'm sure I can source what I need for this one. So, with minimal repairs and an obvious respray in the making, I don't see a big problem. I thought this pair would be perfect to use as my entry for the December Four Horsemen invitational on the Christmas theme of Santa Claus. I encourage you to visit the YouTube channels of my three longtime Four Horsemen colleagues. And this month we welcome Santa Slowdog as our guest horseman. Here's a peek ahead at the 2026 build calendar. The total number of invitationals has been cut down to a more manageable 10 for the year. I hope you'll mark down the dates and the themes and make a New Year's resolution to get involved. I had to grind down one end of the axle and then wrestle off those tires. I'll put them aside for refurbishing before they go back on at the end of the project. There's a little tension adjuster, which flies. And now for the underside of the cab. These are plastic rivet heads that I need to remove so that the chassis can come away from the body. Chrome exhaust stacks. Opening hood to reveal the engine. And an all-chrome interior with the engine attached. Front grille. And you know what? None of that was too tough to do. Nice to work on these Super King size castings. The main thing is to keep all of these little bits and pieces together in one place for the week-long makeover project. The next video up on MapleLeaf Customs is a 2025 year in review with quick pics of all of my customs from the year gone by. These are my next three most immediate ones for the new year. Thanks to each of my followers, new and long-term, for faithfully tuning in and watching and encouraging me in my hobby. Means a lot. Such a king-size casting requires a king-size amount of paint stripper. Hey, buddy. I put my favorite bullet-shaped wire attachment onto my rotary tool to deal with some of the stubborn residual paint. Most of it came off, but as is often the case, there's a couple of corners and recesses that need some special attention. Give me just a couple minutes to take care of this. I'm taking this project to Spray Can City, once again just because it's extra big, and today it's more convenient. Tamiya provides the perfect bright red in their TS86 can. I'll do both the cab and the trailer in that color, but the chassis of the cab I'm going to leave in white for contrast. The last community shoutout of the year goes to Anything Four-Wheel Drive, whom you can locate on Instagram by following the link that I've left in the description to this video. Thanks for doing that. I go around all the pieces and do a couple of highlights in this liquid chrome, which I prefer to do with a brush. So I use this refill bottle, which seems to be bottomless. The decal job on Santa's big rig is almost exclusively snowflakes. I printed a bunch of them out in ghost white. And I'm going to let them just fall randomly down as they would on any beautiful December day. I've got two images to choose from for the side doors. Here's one of them. This is the other, which I'm going to go for. So I deep six the first option, apply number 2 in its place, and a couple more snowflakes. Aww. Now it's really starting to snow. And I'll do a little Elvis Blue Christmas theme on the white chassis. In all my years, I've yet to see a real car or truck interior done in all chrome. So I fix that up by going white seats. And because it's for Santa, some candy cane stripe seat covers. I put them in place with a generous helping of Mod Podge. That's going to dry clear. Keeping the Christmas theme and colors alive, I'm going to highlight the engine with this Tamiya Clear Red. And the air filter gets a dot of clear green. I guess I can start putting things back together now. Everything that was black plastic has been resprayed in a matte black. Exhaust stacks are glued back into place. Window glass was refurbished and put back in before the interior. Still have the opening and closing mechanism for the hood. The original front grille was scuffed up black. I went with the chrome look for contrast. The wheels are reaffixed using the original parts. The cab is secured back in its proper place by a tab in the front that hooks into the chromed fender. Where I had ground away plastic rivets, I just put a couple of dots of superglue. Some panel liner highlights these instruments at the back of the cab. And the wire winch on the trailer. I also resprayed the red hubs and the black plastic wheels to freshen them up. Now I just need to slide them back into place. Each one has an individual slot on the back of the Dyson low loader. Dot of super glue on each end to hold things in place. That's all it needs. Let's have a closer look. Cab first. A fresh respray in red and white and some silver gas tanks. New rhinestone headlights. Candy cane seat covers on the interior. Snowflakes everywhere. And Christmas colors on the big diesel plant. Original wheels. Well, it freshened up nicely. So did the low loader trailer. New chrome highlights, refurbished spare tire up front, and all four in the back got dressed up a little bit. All the original parts are back in place. Doesn't quite seem complete like that, though, does it? It needs a payload. How about a huge shipping container done in Christmas green with more snowflakes? And a bespoke Christmas mural of Santa doing his thing. Hey, those aren't reindeer. Looks like Santa's being pulled by 4 horses. Well, it's my last build as one of the 4 horsemen. I wanted to do something very special, so way back in October, I 3D printed a shipping container. Then I talked to AI with a special request. Kinda scary what it can do, to be truthful with you, but it's exactly what I wanted. So, scaled to size, I printed a left and a right version of this. The trick was to lay it down on this louvered shipping container. I actually made it about 20% longer than it needed to be to account for these recesses. Laid it down in 3 panels to make it a bit easier. Plenty of room inside for all of Santa's toys for boys and girls worldwide. Mostly it serves as a special homage to my longtime Four Horsemen colleagues. To Skip at Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop, in whom I've seen vast improvement in every aspect of his hobby work. Tom from Spork Syndicate, I'll always be envious of your creativity and absolute fearlessness in what you take on. And especially to Paul at Diecast Graveyard, who invited me personally to become part of the team back in 2022. It's been a great 4-year ride. I love you guys, and consider you to be my closest online friends. Santa, you were the obvious pick to be our guest horseman for this one. Thanks. And to everyone who participated in the build. If you did, here's a couple of tips for you. Make sure you watch as many Santa videos as you can. Good things ahead for the Horseman with Somo Diecast Ron coming on board. I know you'll keep following and continue to participate too. And I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'll see you next week. I wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. It's coffee time.